Yemen is sliding back into a new wave of violence. A new escalation is ripping through the country, with government forces and Houthi fighters trading fresh blows. And the fighting is escalating, and fast, with the Red Sea once again becoming a flashpoint. As Yemeni forces ramp up operations against the Iran-backed Houthis, the group claims fresh attacks on Saudi targets. As fighting intensifies, Yemen's armed forces say they have stepped up operations against the Iran-backed Houthis. Yemen's military spokesperson, Colonel Majed al-Nuzaili, says forces carried out 133 military operations against Houthi fighters in the past 24 hours, targeting their personnel and military capabilities. According to al-Nuzaili, the strikes killed or wounded dozens of Houthi fighters and destroyed several pieces of Houthi equipment and vehicles. In a post on X, he said that the armed forces used rocket launchers, artillery, and drones to strike what he called sources of threat, and that the operations were carried out with the participation of army units stationed along frontline positions. We carried out 133 military operations against the capabilities and elements of the terrorist Houthi militia in the past 24 hours. The armed forces used rocket artillery, field artillery, and drone aviation to destroy sources of threat. The operation was carried out with the participation of army units stationed along the front lines. Meanwhile, the Iran-backed Houthis are showing no signs of backing down. The group claims it launched a ballistic missile attack on a Saudi military ship and 4 escort boats in the Red Sea, off the southwestern port city of Mocha. Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sari described the strikes as direct and precise, claiming the ship caught fire, while some of the escort boats sank and others were also set ablaze. Houthis claimed the attacks are not limited to the Red Sea. In a separate statement, Houthi spokesperson Yahya Sari said the group also targeted a Saudi-used weapons depot at the Sayn al-Jin camp in Yemen's Marib province with several drones. He claimed the strike sparked a fire at the site. These latest claims come as Houthi attacks intensify against government-held areas and targets linked to Saudi Arabia, a key backer of Yemen's internationally recognized government. At the center of the escalation is Mocha, a government-held port city near the strategic Bab al-Mandab Strait, one of the world's key maritime choke points connecting the Red Sea with the Gulf of Aden. The situation around Mocha has been worsening since August 9th. Repeated Houthi attacks in and around the port have reportedly caused casualties, damaged infrastructure, and disrupted shipping operations. The Houthis say they are closely tracking Saudi military movements, and warn that their attacks on Saudi forces will continue, both on land and at sea. The group has described the campaign as part of its siege for siege policy against Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, Yemen's internationally recognized government is also vowing to hit back. The country's National Defense Council has ordered an expansion of air and missile strikes against Houthi targets, warning of further, painful, retaliatory operations. The council met on August 17 to assess the situation on the ground, following a series of Houthi missile and drone attacks targeting displacement camps, civilian homes, and vital installations. The attacks reportedly left dozens of people killed or wounded, including women and children. The council also praised the Yemeni forces, saying they had withstood Houthi attacks while inflicting what it called painful losses on the Iran-backed group. Authorities have been directed to assess the damage quickly and provide support to those wounded, as well as the families of those killed. But the bigger concern is what this escalation could mean for Yemen's fragile calm. The Houthis have controlled Sana'a and much of northern Yemen since 2014, and have stepped up attacks on Saudi Arabia and shipping in the Red Sea. All this comes as UN-led efforts continue to revive a stalled ceasefire, raising fears that the latest violence could derail hopes for a negotiated end to Yemen's decade-long conflict. Yemen had seen a relative lull in fighting since April 2022, after years of conflict between government forces and the Houthis. But that fragile calm has now been badly shaken. Earlier this month, the Houthis launched attacks on military camps in Marib and Hadramaut, killing at least 30 government soldiers in what was reportedly the deadliest single episode of the conflict in years. Since then, fighting has resumed across several provinces, including Al-Jawf, al-Dailiya and Taiz, adding to fears that Yemen could once again slide into a wider conflict.